Welcome back to Travoltine Presents Easy Riders. Hosted by Jeff Sweeney and Stuart Elmore. Covering Black Swan with special guest Angelica Rosa.
You didn't say enjoy the episode.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Do it again.
So
I guess we gotta
busy
do it again.
texting that you just completely missed it.
It's fine.
I was trying so hard not to laugh during any of that.
Can I pull up? Can I read really quick a trivia bit about this movie?
Yeah.
Natalie Portman met her future ex-husband, choreographer Benjamin Millipede, on the set of this film.
Millipede?
Yeah, I would like to talk about two things in that sense. Number one, that this person used future ex-husband, which is like incredible.
Yeah.
Number two, Millipede?
Millipede.
Imagine she changed her last name, Natalie Millipede.
No, absolutely
Star
not.
of Thor: The Dark World, Natalie Millipede.
What is the origin of Millipede, the last name? Can we look that up?
I would be deeply curious. How, like, does Millipede come about?
Nice.
Because it is really funny to me that her immediate follow-ups to this movie are Your Highness and Thor.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, wow.
this music. Because when we, like...
The gradual crescendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Swan Lake. You know,
It is
the
fun.
ballet that this movie is based on. But it's epic trailer version.
Epic trailer
I was like,
version.
this is not. I don't think this is like.
What kind of movie would use an epic version of Swan Lake in its trailer, aside from this?
It
it's definitely
probably
happened,
is.
right?
It probably has happened.
It's like that Godzilla trailer that used Claire de Lune.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great trailer. So
Planet of the Apes.
hell yeah. Get this shit out of here. Get this shit out of here.
All right.
Out of here. Get it out of here.
I just wanted to, I don't know.
You wanted the drop.
Didn't
You
know
wanted the drop.
what it was going to do for us.
Folks, welcome back to Travolting Presents Easy
Wow, we
Riders.
didn't even.
We're joined today by returning guest Angelica Rosa,
Hi.
a friend of the show who's been on multiple recent episodes inadvertently due to major world events occurring.
Just major world events.
We brought you on for the Joe Biden one, right?
Joe Biden,
The Private
and
Lives
then-
of Pippa Lee.
Yeah, Private Lives of Pippa Lee.
And then after that, it was
Yeah, there was
there was a bit.
Oh yes, because I asked you to describe the plot of When Love Is Not Enough.
Yes.
And you accurately guessed it.
Except for one small
Yes,
detail.
except for the one small detail that it was Al-Anon.
So we're going to talk about Black Swan starring Jim Carrey, right?
Yes.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
that's all I was
she could
thinking
talk about.
was just the SNL skit with Jim Carrey
It would be
as Lily.
so good if that's the only thing that you talked about this whole time.
Look, her
my gosh.
tattoos, fantastic.
We just got a text from our next guest saying "on my way." I would like to emphasize he lives an hour away.
Okay.
Yeah,
And if
that's
there's
probably
traffic,
why.
it will take him an hour and a half to get here.
Okay,
So
good.
Yeah.
we're in the clear.
Okay.
Why did he spell Winona like that?
Who?
Tyler.
Oh, I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, text messages. It's for a different episode.
We're picking up with this movie Black Swan immediately after the aforementioned When Love Is Not Enough and the aforementioned Star Trek.
Yeah.
We're kind of entering this new stage of Winona's career where she's back in like Hollywood productions.
Yeah, fully, I would say.
Yeah, she's like from this point on, she's fully in Hollywood productions. And like she's reestablished herself not in, she's not a leading lady anymore.
She's a supporting.
She's established herself as like a competent, solid supporting actress, which is like a solid place to be as an actor.
Yeah.
I would say.
And I think we've talked about this and addressed that the sad sexist fact that like actresses have kind of like an expiration date on
Yes.
the roles that they can play. And I was joking with Angelica. It's like once you kind of reach the age, then it's just, hey, I like to audition for the part of mother.
Yeah. Well, the thing,
Your mom.
the thing that's funny is like we've been talking about this Winona for a while, like this stage of her career for a while, and I feel like her role in this movie is like so specifically pointed and about that stage of her career, right?
Oh, 1000%.
Like Winona Ryder isn't cast in this movie just because like, oh, Winona's like a good actress, we'll put her in this role. She's cast because she's at this stage in her career where like she's being replaced by younger actresses.
Oh yeah. I mean, if there's one thing about Darren Aronofsky, it is he is nothing but symbolism in casting, in set design, and everything of the sort. Like he goes for the big message all the time.
I want to play this quick snippet of an interview Winona did for Black Swan because it points to exactly what you're saying.
Cool experience.
Cool experience.
Cool experience.
I'm Winona Ryder, and I play Beth Macintyre. When I got the script, I could tell it was very well written, but it was very different on paper than what it is as a movie. It's amazing as a movie. And my part, although it was small, I felt it was very intricate because whatever's, happening to me, I'm being replaced, I'm being dumped, I'm being, and I self-destruct basically. It starts to happen to the girl who's, there's always going to be another girl that's going to take your place. I really loved working with Darren.
And
so I just wanted to point that little bit out because it's very, like you said, it's very pointed to like, and almost just like watching her talk about that, you can't help but feel like she's sort of self-acknowledging the parallel.
She never explicitly says it, but like it's very obvious Darren Aronofsky cast Winona Ryder in this movie. She used to be the biggest star in the world.
Yeah.
The biggest actress. And she, was replaced by younger actresses.
Yeah, 1000%.
And they just shuffled her out.
Yeah.
And so in that respect, like this movie is like probably the most interesting Winona movie we've talked about in a while, I'd say.
Yeah.
In what it like symbolizes for her career.
It's the most self-reflective.
Yes. It's like it's like an actual self-reflective performance. Even if it is like a small part of the movie, it is, kind of the linchpin of the movie. It's what her, forced retirement is what sets the events in motion that lead to Natalie Portman turning into a bird.
And her, Natalie Portman turning into a bird. And
it's also she's still infantilized because he still calls her little princess.
My little princess.
Like the whole time.
And we also get to revisit Winona throughout the movie as she self-destructs even more. And I think that it's those bits that Winona is performing that I personally thought, like, I think it's some of the best work she's done since, like, her really big Oscar days.
Yeah, the role is small, but it's meaty.
Yeah, we'll get to some of the parts particularly, but yeah, I agree. Given that,
I think Cole Bradley, former guest of the show, said that like if this movie had come out now, like let's say they make this movie today or this year, and they still cast Winona in that role. He said, like, he thinks that role is slightly bigger and it's an Oscar play for her. Just kind of where it comes in her career at this point. Like, she's not reestablished enough for this to be a bigger role.
Right.
But she still manages to take what is, I think, essentially just 4 scenes and make her presence felt throughout the whole movie. Like, she's kind of this like, spirit that's haunting Natalie Portman.
Yeah, pretty much. Real quick, because I think we this is not the first Aronofsky film we've covered on the show.
No, we covered The Whale.
The Whale.
Previously, which has shockingly the exact same ending as this movie.
A
minus
bit.
him lifting off the floor, which he does not do.
She goes the other way. She goes down. She falls down on the floor.
On that topic, Stuart, are you excited for the release of The Whales next month?
I'm very excited for the release of The Whales next month.
So Angelica, like, at the end of The Whale where he like lifts off the floor?
I don't. I've never seen The Whale.
It picks up
at that he's rocketing through the air.
And then the camera
max
pulls
speed,
back.
And there's a second whale with him.
There's multiple whales, and the camera eventually gets wider and wider and wider, and you get this full view of the sky, and you see it's Fraser, and then there's like multiple different other like whale-like
men.
people.
It's like all a bunch of 600-pound guys flying through the air. It's like the Green Lantern Corps, but they're all fat.
Chef.
Bag up.
Look, I had to say it. I've been thinking a lot about The Whales. Like, what would that movie be?
But yeah, this is we this is an earlier Aronofsky movie. We've already talked
and
about.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie. Right?
Yeah, The Whale's a great movie.
Early, but not like
You're talking about the Black
super
Swan.
early in his career. Like he's already pretty seasoned by
he's-
this point because he had done Requiem for a Dream. There was The Wrestler.
Has he already done Noah?
No, he's not done
No,
Noah.
Noah's
Okay.
not. Noah's what, 2014?
12, I thought. 20. I thought it's shortly after this movie.
I'm pulling up his run right now. So he comes into the scene in 98 with Pi.
Yeah.
Follows it up with Requiem for a Dream, then The Fountain, and then The Wrestler. And The Wrestler is
another, there's a ballerina in it.
yes.
It is, but it's like wrestling versus ballet.
Yeah.
But it still touches, I think, because that's what he said was like part of what helped him get Black Swan off the ground was The Wrestler.
Yeah, because The Wrestler is kind of his. I mean, Requiem for a Dream has, a lot of commotion about it. What's her name in that movie? Gets the Oscar nomination.
Ellen
Burstyn. Yes,
Burstyn?
I'm a little tired today. But The Wrestler is kind of his first like big breakthrough into the Oscars. Mickey Rourke and Marissa Tomei get nominations. It's like a big comeback for Mickey Rourke that we've talked about previous on the show. Immediately fizzles out 2 years later.
Yep.
And then Black Swan is kind of his like you made it movie, where he gets nominated for Best Director. Actually, Dwayne, does he get nominated for Best Director?
I think he gets nominated.
Nominated but doesn't win.
Because Portman gets the win for leading. Aronofsky gets nominated for directing. Get the Best Picture nomination.
Yeah, gets Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Director, Cinematographer.
What won cinematography in 2011? Because the cinematography in this movie, Angelica and I, you and I both said like we had both seen this movie, but it's been a while since we've seen this movie. Revisiting it, I am like, I was pretty wowed by like the
you know who it
I guess that makes sense.
well nothing beats Inception.
Oh, this is what a good year this was. Wow.
2011.
Best Picture nominees in 2011: The King's Speech, Black Swan, The Fighter,
poop The King's
Inception, The Kids Are All Right, 127 Hours, The Social Network, Toy Story 3, True Grit, and Winter's Bone.
Holy shit.
Did you
Toy
poop
Story
The King's
3.
I pooped The King's Speech winning Best Picture that year.
What should have won that year?
Any of these other movies. King's Speech is fine. The
It's
King's
a
Speech
great movie.
But you know what's better? Black Swan, The Fighter, Inception, 127 Hours, The Social Network, True Grit, or Winter's Bone. Well, maybe not Winter's Bone, but
The Fighter is better than The King's Speech.
But like Black Swan, Inception, 127 Hours, The Social Network should have won.
Nah,
Simple.
I
fact.
don't think The Social Network.
nah. King's Speech rightfully won. King's Speech
Tom
rightfully
Hooper,
won.
Notorious Lunatic, winning Best Director that year. Crazy.
Yeah.
He directed Cats. We should do a Cats episode.
No, I don't think we need to.
It's gonna be like the time I wasn't even there, but I know this story that everyone came over to your place.
Yes.
And your idea was fun was putting on Cats
Yes.
when it was supposed to be a board game night.
It was a false flag operation, and I'm very pleased to say we got
And Becca
results.
was so,
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. No, it was some other friends. And they came over and I put Cats on, and one of them like frantically called an Uber and left. It was
Nice.
good.
So this movie gets like the accolades.
Yes, this is like his big "You Made It" Oscar movie.
Yeah.
And he uses this. He's originally going to make The Wolverine right after this.
oh,
But he drops out due to scheduling issues. James Mangold takes over. His Wolverine was like really intense. You can read the script online; it's quite good.
Okay.
But I think it ends with Wolverine dying. Like I think he's the
so
first
he
one.
tried to pull Logan.
I think he's the
before
first
Logan.
one who has the idea of like Wolverine should die at the end of the movie. But he ends up not happening. He goes right into Noah.
Oh boy.
Which is his blank check movie. Like
boy, you're talking to a Noah stan.
no, we respect Noah in this household.
I fucking
We respect Ray Winstone storming the Ark with an army of rock monsters
angels.
fighting them. Oh, it's me, Ray Winstone. I'm gonna take over your Ark. and Russell Crowe's like still shoving crafty candy into his mouth. He's like, I'm gonna stop here. He's like got like a Mars bar falling out of his mouth. He's like,
oh my god, Nick Nolte, fuck. We're gonna get on the ark. Oh my god.
I woke up at 8 o'clock for this.
We have to watch.
Can I read
Noah
Can I read the cast of Noah just for the audience?
Please read the cast of Noah.
And I promise we will then talk about Black Swan.
Please read the cast of
Noah. Russell Crowe as Noah. Jennifer Connelly as Nama, Noah's wife. Ray Renstone as Tubal Khan, a descendant of Cain and Noah's nemesis. Emma Watson as Ela, an orphan raised by Noah. Logan Lerman as Ham, Noah's middle son. Anthony Hopkins as Methuselah, Noah's grandfather.
Me.
Douglas Bluth as Shem, their eldest son. Leo McHugh Carroll as Japheth. Frank Langella as the voice of Og, a watcher who helps Noah. What? Nick Nolte as the voice of Samyaza, the leader of the Watchers.
What?
Mark Mogulis as the voice of Magog, a Watcher. Kevin Durand as the voice of Ramil, a Watcher.
Durand.
Yes. As the voice of Ramil, a Watcher.
I love it. Oh, I love it so much.
I just wanted to read that for the audience.
Oh, I love it
God.
so much. I love it so much.
Jesus.
Oh, what a movie. What a movie, Noah.
Yeah, we should do a Noah episode. We should do Russell Crowe.
We should do a Noah episode.
We should do Russell Crowe. We call it Eating Crow.
That is an episode I would love.
We would get to talk about Unhinged.
Oh my God.
Russell
Unhinged.
gets so much road rage that he just starts killing people.
That's amazing.
The first movie to release post-COVID.
Oh my God, you're
shit.
right.
They put it out in theaters. People went and got COVID. Probably, I guess.
Probably.
I don't know.
But then he continues his religious streak.
Yeah, he makes,
Mother. Because it's exclamation mark at the end.
And then Mother is such like a colossal disaster.
Even though it's a great movie.
It's a good movie, yeah. But it's like a colossal disaster, like financially and just kind of...
Well, you can't release in a red state.
Culturally.
Really.
Yeah.
And so he takes 5 years off, reevaluates, and decides to come back with a small little chamber piece with Brendan Fraser called The Whale.
A great movie.
A movie that we covered on this show. And I will say no more about.
Great movie. Untitled Artificial Intelligence Courtroom Project. That's what he has in development.
Fuck yeah. Well, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's pretty cool.
But no, we're talking about Black Swan today.
The reason I bring that up because I remember you saying in the Whale episode, Jeff, or maybe it was an earlier episode we covered, that Aronofsky was like the one director you had not like fully watched the breadth of their career yet.
I'm very loose on Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah.
I have only seen this, The Whale, Mother, bits of Noah, which I haven't watched all the way through, which is why I want to cover it.
Fuck. We should watch Noah.
But like I haven't seen Pi. I honestly haven't done Requiem for a Dream or The Fountain or The Wrestler. I haven't seen them.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm kind of loose on him.
Just based on what you've
gotta
seen.
watch Requiem for a Dream.
Mm-hmm. And The Fountain. The Fountain.
The Fountain.
The Fountain. The Fountain's like probably one of my like top 5. I'm not a stoner, but if I was a stoner,
You'd be all in on The Fountain.
All in on The Fountain. All in on The Fountain. But what's your initial? What are both your thoughts on Aronofsky? Because I'm an Aronofsky stan. I love Aronofsky.
He's good.
I like Aronofsky.
Yeah.
I like he's much more poetic about what he puts on the screen. It is a lot of symbolism. It is a lot of, you could interpret things multiple ways and hiding a lot of details that you need to watch like second times through of like, you didn't notice it the first time, but I had you rewind it and it was one of the portraits moving its eyes towards her for like a split second before it like looks back. And all of that. So I like the way that he does it where it's like highly rewatchable because the more you watch it, the more you learn from what's on the screen. It's like a book.
Yeah.
He's a very interesting filmmaker. Like I say, I still am not like super, well versed in him. But this movie really blew me away. It's nice that I hadn't seen this before.
Yeah,
because it was really fun to just experience this for the first time for this show, and then get to come right into talking about it.
Can I ask, when did you watch it?
Last night.
In the dark?
No, it was daytime.
I actually said that we deliberately waited till it was night because I thought this is such a nighttime viewing movie.
That's what I was planning on doing that, but instead I had plans last night that I just couldn't. Like I wouldn't have had time unless I wanted to stay up super late.
Right. Yeah.
But I want to talk a little bit about the context of this movie getting made.
Yeah.
Because Aronofsky has this idea originally in the year 2000. It's like what he's thinking of the same time he's doing Requiem for a Dream. And
he was fascinated by understudies.
Yeah, understudies and like the concept of like replacement in the entertainment industry, and like the cycles and the ways that like male directors put a lot of pressure on their muses, on their female actresses, and how they see them as kind of like just disposable art, like, you know, models that they can do whatever they want with. And he talked to Natalie Portman in 2000 about this, about like we should do this together. And then, you know, he gets busy. This movie doesn't quite get the key to unlock it.
The prequels happen. She's in the prequels. She's in V for Vendetta. She kind of explodes in popularity in that time, which is a major benefit to getting this movie eventually made. Right.
But both of them credit like the quality of this movie to like having that 10 years to let the movie marinate for them. And then he makes The Wrestler, which is what he's thinking like, I can kind of get at my ballet movie ideas out in The Wrestler. And he's just making The Wrestler. He's like, this is more about the wrestler, like The Wrestler. The ballet stuff, maybe I'll punt to something else. And so he views this as like a companion piece to The Wrestler. And he finally goes into it. And, you know, Natalie Portman's big enough that they can get the funding. She's really excited to do an adult movie.
Yeah.
Because in her own quote, I'm trying to find roles that demand more adulthood from me because you can get stuck in the very awful, cute cycle as a woman in film, especially being such a small person.
Right.
And so it's...
Which shows in the very beginnings of her character that her room is very much looks like it's a 14-year-old's room.
That also goes to show a very interesting parallel in this movie, that Natalie Portman, who gets really big and popular off of her more youngerish roles.
Yes.
Like even like you could say in episode 3, she becomes like a mature Queen Amidala, but she's still like playing young.
Senator Amidala, please.
Sorry.
She's like 16 in The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, and
she's like comically young.
But and also like Leon the Professional, and also V for Vendetta. Like these are all roles that are capitalizing on her at her young age. And so I think it's interesting that this movie is about her, not just like her own as an actress transformation into taking on more adulthood roles, but the role itself taking on the transformation to play a more adulthood part.
Yeah, she said that she was very much committed at this stage in her career to finding like adult roles and kind of you know, the same way that Winona had in the early 90s, where she said, no more of this kid stuff, no more teen movies,
no more It Girl.
Yeah, no more It Girl. I'm doing Dracula, I'm doing Age of Innocence, I'm doing House of the Spirits.
Yeah.
And says like, this is what I am now. I'm an adult actress.
Yeah.
It's a similar thing to what Natalie's doing at this time. However, what's interesting to me about this movie is how, and she even acknowledges this, that in her efforts to like do a more, you know, adult centric roles and, you know, appear more mature, this movie asks her to regress.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And she says like, you know, my voice does not sound as squirrely as it once did when I was doing like The Phantom Menace and whatnot. And Darren Aronofsky's like, can you bring your voice back to that?
Yeah.
And so she has to like lower the pitch of her voice, or heighten the pitch of her voice. Sorry. And really play up like seeming younger than she is, so that her character can go on that dramatic arc. To becoming, you know, the best, the most intense actress in the world.
Right.
And what psychologically that does to a person, the expectation. It's a very like interesting take on like the movie is about itself.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
Jeff, how great is it that we have this much meat to chew on?
It's
on
nice,
the
right?
movie. It's pretty great, right?
Remember Star Trek where Winona's in like 3 scenes and we had to do like an elaborate time travel plot line in order to find some stuff to talk about?
Oh my God.
Right. Yeah, but no, it's great that this movie actually has a lot of meat on the bone to chew on.
But like Natalie and Mila Kunis are, she's like, I would say Mila Kunis is almost a co-lead, not quite, but she approaches that level.
Not quite, yeah. But
they both went in like half a year of dance training for this movie to really sell the authenticity of their performances on the stage.
Which there is a little bit of like slight controversy over.
They both suffered a lot of injuries on this movie.
Yeah, I heard she dislocated her shoulder.
Yeah.
She fractured something else. I don't remember. But I also was going to say, I know apparently Darren Aronofsky tried to like foster a competitive environment between the two of them. So he would keep them separated while they were filming and then he would text the other actress about the other one's performance and how like wonderful she was and how big shoes they need to fill because like, you know, it needs to match the energy and all of that. But apparently their friends, they were just too strong of friends going into it that they were just more like, oh, that's great. I'm so happy she did so well. Instead of going, oh, you fucking bitch. Like or like, what did Beth Macintyre say? You fucking whore.
Yeah, you fucking whore.
And battle it out, but he was trying to create that so it transferred onto the screen. But
the problem with that being is that Natalie recommended her friend Mila for the role. So I think it's almost like, but I do think Mila Kunis was great for the role. I mean,
Mila, do you want to do a Mila Kunis sidebar? Is that what you're geared up for?
No, I wasn't geared up for that. But if you had one geared up, welcome to.
My favorite thing about Mila Kunis, is that
she was 14 when she did that 70s show.
She was 14 when she does that 70s show. But like she kind of just like
she kissed a 20-something-year-old Ashton Kutcher and lied about her age.
We talk a lot about actors and actresses, like how they have to do like a one for them, one for me kind of mentality with movies. Like Natalie Portman does this movie, like for herself, it challenges her artistically. And after this, she has to do Thor.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, you got to make the money.
Yeah.
Oh God, was it Jupiter Ascending?
No, but here's the thing. Mila Kunis never had to do that. Like anything that she's in, like Oz the Great and Powerful or Jupiter Ascending, she's in because she wants to be. Because everyone always forgets. Mila Kunis is the voice of Meg for like 25 seasons of Family Guy.
She is.
She does not need the money.
Insane amount of residual.
Except the first season.
Yes. She replaces Lacey Chabert during season 2.
Yes.
But for 24 seasons of Family Guy.
She is Meg.
And 8 seasons of That 70s Show. Think about how many residuals she must make every month.
Making bank.
Off of the reruns.
She does not need the money.
I don't know. I don't know that you know, that 70s show is exactly going to get her as much residuals given the whole Danny Masterson and her and Ashton Kutcher
thing.
Letter of support.
But just like, it's like very undervalued that she does the voice of Meg and how much money she must make just off of Family Guy residuals to be able to do whatever she wants.
Yeah, she does not need the money.
Every episode.
And like the whole bit in Family Guy is that they cast a beautiful person to play like the kind of schlubby like daughter, which is kind of like rude.
Schlubby? Damn,
it's kind of rude.
Well, they do forget about her. It's always like, damn, Meg.
Look,
it's like really. I think I sent this really funny bit to a friend. I was on Instagram, and it's like, hold on, I think I can actually pull it up here.
Look, all I'm saying is that when they do...
Stewie, wake up. We gotta go. Chris, come on. We gotta go. Meg, can you drag the trash to the curb tomorrow before 9? We won't be here.
Yeah.
Poor Meg.
Poor Meg.
All right. So, yeah, you're right.
But that's my Mila Kunis sidebar. I just want to shout that out.
I was just saying, like, if Aronofsky's whole aim was to cast 2 actresses that would be like competitive with each other, I don't think it was the right call to cast like friends.
Yeah.
but no,
I do think that there's something.
But there's something to that. I mean, especially in an industry where you are essentially competing against your friends.
Yeah.
Always.
And always. I mean, even us eventually when, you know, Directors Guild comes around and jobs aren't as plentiful.
And so to that point, I just think that they're 2 great actresses that know how to pretend to be like rivals at that point.
Here's a question I was thinking about watching this movie. It's like the Vincent Cassel character. What's his name in this movie?
Which one is that?
Is it Thomas?
Thomas Leroy.
Thomas. The most French looking man ever to exist, Vincent Cassel. But like he's kind of just like an analog for Aronofsky himself. Like he's kind of like identifying with that character with all directors. But it feels like with him trying to create this foster this animosity on set, he's kind of just putting himself into the asshole role in the movie.
Yeah.
And like he almost it seems like this kind of self-reflection on himself and what he does as a director. And there's like an ounce of self-loathing to it.
Yeah.
Like I feel that through this character who like is portrayed villainously in this movie.
Yeah.
Like he's basically seen as
1000%.
evil.
Yeah.
But it's the character who he identifies with the most.
That Aronofsky identifies with, yeah. Or is it the
It's
movie that Aronofsky thinks other directors acts like?
Well,
I mean,
with what we just said,
it's-
if he's trying to get like his actresses to
Right.
fight each other,
yeah.
is he not doing the exact same thing that Thomas doing?
It's very much how do I say this? It's like it's a foil. So what it is that it's showing parts of himself